What's up, YouTube? It's your guy, the Shot 45, back at you. Yeah, I keep changing my name, but check this out. I was recently employed by Carvana LLC, the big used car company. Um, July 15th, 2022, I had got arrested while leaving work, pulled over. I complied, everything, gave him my license, insurance, everything. He came back. He asked me to step out the car. I set off a traffic stop. He said, step out the car again aggressively. So I'm like, okay, I turned my car off, rolled up my windows. As I'm getting out, I try to get out and close my door. He grabbed my door. He told me, stop, that's resisting arrest. I'm like, how is that resisting arrest? I'm like, I'm just trying to close my door. He's like, don't close your door. So he grabbed me, put me in handcuffs. Then he put me in the back of his car, said I was on arrest, and he proceeded to illegally search my car. I had this gun safe right here by Vault-Tec. He brought my gun safe to the car, and he asked me to open it. I denied it. I didn't comply with that. Okay, you going to jail. Boom, take me to jail. Now, I usually work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with Carvana at the time that I was on that bid. I couldn't call in to let them know that I was going to be at work until Monday because I was in holding for 6 to 7 hours. And it was around 7 o'clock. So 6 to 7 hours. By that time, I had to be back up for work. And, so I was in jail by the time my next shift was about to start. So with that being said, they said I was a no-call, no-show. When I finally got a hold of somebody to let them know, they was all right, this and that. By the time I got out of jail, which was Monday, I was told to contact HR because I may be on the verge of losing my job because I have too many points. I was like, how's that possible? They was like, well, you was a no-call, no-show and you didn't come to work. I'm like, how can I do that if I don't have a way to contact you guys and I'm sitting there holding? They was like, well, we don't know. I waited till July 18th, 2022. I got out of jail. By July 21st, 2022, HR contacted me and let me know that they was going to terminate me. This is where it get interesting. I asked HR, I'm like, how is it that you guys getting rid of me, but you guys didn't get rid of a racist that work at you guys' job? And he's also made comments about the LGBT community where Carvana is big on that. And I'm not going to say my witnesses out loud because at this moment, Carvana is coming out to every witness and they starting to terminate them like this. Everybody, so that way they can look like this run-to employees that's just mad at the company right now. So I'm not going to say all the names because they just let go one. But they kept a racist manager and they steady promoting this manager. And this manager will always throw shots at me. His name was Ricky. Hold on. Let me see his name. I'm just say his name was Ricky. I don't want to give out his whole name, but his name is Ricky. We had a manager named Joseph. They call him Joe. They just got promoted to the logistic manager. I reported it to him. Joe, and he even made me write up a form explaining what Ricky done. I told him, I called Ricky over, I'm like, hey, Ricky's from the west side. Boom, boom. Ricky out his own mouth told me, yeah, they called me white boy Ricky. That's what Ricky told me. So I'm like, okay, hey, Ricky, come over here. Now, there's two drivers right there, Vincent, and the other one name is Mike. They standing right there. We better car haulers. Ricky come along with the car hauler. I'm like, yeah, hey, Ricky, tell them about how they call you. Tell them how you from the west side of Chicago. Ricky, the first thing came out of his mouth was like, nigger, please. That's the first thing came out of his mouth was nigger. And we all looked, by all us, the other two guys and me, we all being black drivers, we looked. And I wanted to react right then. But I was like, nah, that ain't the way to go because I really wanted to take it somewhere else. and get physical, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be the higher person and just report it. So Ricky will apologize. That whole ending of that day, because I was about to clock out. Then next thing you know, it wasn't sitting right with me. I reported it to Joseph, the logistic manager out of University Park, Illinois, near Chicago, in the suburb. He had me write up the form as well. I gave it to Joe. Guess what? Joe didn't turn that into HR, because when I was getting terminated and I asked HR, why didn't they do anything to Ricky about him calling me the N-word, she said she never got the form. So that means Joe threw it under the table or threw it out or whatever he did with it. And at the same time, so now all these days and months go by, and it happened in April, I think. Because it was just getting warm outside. I want to say it was around April or maybe early May. And it's getting warm outside, nothing going on. Ricky's still there, I'm trying to make sure things is all, I'm not trying to make things feel awkward, because it's like Ricky's already throwing shots at me. So he like, yeah, I ain't got to go run to daddy and them or go run and tell on somebody. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, ain't nobody tell, I'm just, even though I know I went and reported it to HR, so he was like, yeah, I saw the letter you wrote up. Joe showed me the letter. So not only did Joe break protocol, he didn't get my letter to HR, and he didn't get my letter to nobody up higher. And he also, that was a personal letter that I wrote to management, and he showed it to the person that I was reporting. You showed my complaint to the person that I was reporting. That's how he knew that I reported him. So Joe, as I would tell him, like anytime you get into a problem with Joe would try to get you up out the way fast. Anything. He looked for a reason. I was terminated because they said a vehicle got damaged over the weekend, which Joe don't work the weekend. So I came, delivered the whole load of cars to the yard, hopped in my car, left. I was told the very next day, oh, hey, you damaged the car and your height was this and that. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't over height. Now, what a lot of drivers would do at Carvana, when they load get there, they try to rush and get into their truck and do their stuff. Me, personally, I was gone. Joe don't work on the weekend. So it was basically, Joe took it under his own wing to basically be like, oh, believe what that driver said, instead of actually seeing for itself. No management came out the moment I pulled into the yard to check the load at all. So nobody knew. So he said I didn't have straps on there. He said I didn't load it properly, all of this. So how did I not have straps on that? Cars would have been flying off. So now I just got off the phone about one of the witnesses when Ricky called me the N-word. They just terminated one of the witnesses. His name was Vincent. They just terminated him for a cell phone policy that they told us to do. Out of Joe Owen's mouth, he told everybody, hey, you get 3 taps on your phone. Joe and management told us, you get 3 taps. You can touch your phone. You just can't pick up your phone. And we know a lot of white drivers at Carvana that picked up their phone, did all types of stuff, and they never got fired at all. They never got terminated. But now it's like they coming after all the witnesses that was in my case. They coming after the witness. They already said Mike went and talked to Mike to write a statement going against me to make it look like I was holding something over a Ricky head. In reality, me and Mike work 2 different shifts. I work morning shifts, and I'd be gone by 2, 3, maybe 4. But I would stay after later, but I would never talk to Mike, because Mike was always older, and it's like me and him never had nothing in common. It's like he was awkward to me. So me and him never really talked. We'll say hi and this and that, but he was never around. And by that time, he talking about I will hold it over Ricky's head. Ricky will already be gone by the time Mike was there. So it's like, how do Mike know anything about me holding anything over anybody's head when I never did, when I reported it as soon as it happened? I'm just thinking, hey, when is the HR going to get to it? But come to find out, HR never got to it because they never got my letter. So with that being said, they trying to fake build a case going against me to defend Ricky. And Ricky was always tell me, hey, yeah, you better save your money. This was after I wrote the statement against him. He was like, you better save your money, this and that, because, yeah, time's gonna get hard, yeah. Stack your money. This, I'm like, well, I'm thinking, what do you mean by that? Whole time, Ricky knew that they was planning on letting me go. Ricky and them knew Joe was planning on letting me go. They was trying to figure out how they can let me go. So when I got locked up, that was a perfect reason. Because it don't make sense. Everybody that I tell the story to, they was like, how can you call to let them, I'm properly prepared if you got locked up? You're not expecting to get locked up when you leaving work. So how can you even let them know when everybody know when you go to jail, you sit and hold them for like 5 to 6, maybe 7 hours, or when the COs feel like letting you out to process you. So yeah, I feel like but it's cool. Like, I'm just gonna keep my faith. I'm not gonna say anything to incriminate me. I just know Carvana allows racists to work for their jobs, and they would do anything to keep them on board. That's all I can say. They terminated me, but they keep the racists on board. He called me the N-word in front of everybody, in front of 2 other drivers. Now they got 1 driver trying to work against us, but hey, I'm just gonna keep faith, continue to talk to my attorneys, and we gonna keep processing all this paperwork until we bring Carvana up on charges for whatever else happened. Just have faith with me, man.